The Wild West, a term that evokes images of a rugged, untamed frontier where the rules were few and the opportunities seemed endless. A land of vast plains, towering mountains, and scorching deserts. This was a place where nature reigned supreme, and only the brave dared to venture. It's a place of legend and lore. The stories of this land have been passed down through generations, becoming an integral part of American culture. Stories of cowboys and Indians, lawmen and outlaws, and the quest for gold have captivated generations. These tales of adventure and danger have shaped our understanding of the American spirit. But how did this untamed wilderness transform into the iconic symbol of adventure and freedom it is today? The journey from a wild frontier to a legendary landscape is a story of perseverance and dreams. The allure of the West was irresistible. It called to those seeking fortune and a fresh start, promising a land of opportunity and endless possibilities. It promised untold riches and a chance to start anew. The dream of striking it rich in the gold fields or finding fertile land to farm drew many to this vast, uncharted territory. Pioneers, driven by dreams of a better life, packed their wagons and headed west. They left behind everything they knew, driven by hope and the promise of a new beginning. They faced treacherous journeys across unforgiving landscapes. The Oregon Trail, the Santa Fe Trail, and the Mormon Trail became lifelines to the unknown. These routes were fraught with danger, but they also represented the path to a new life. And the Mormon Trail became lifelines to the unknown. These trails were more than just paths. They were symbols of hope and determination, guiding countless pioneers to their new homes in the West. Early explorers like Lewis and Clark paved the way for westward expansion. They ventured into uncharted territory, documenting the flora, fauna, and native tribes they encountered. Their journals painted a vivid picture of the West's natural wonders. As more settlers arrived, conflicts with Native American tribes became inevitable. The forced displacement of these indigenous peoples from their ancestral lands is a dark chapter in American history. The clash of cultures led to tragic wars and massacres. The discovery of gold in California in 1848 sent shockwaves across the nation. The gold rush was on. Thousands of fortune seekers, dubbed 49ers, descended upon California. They dreamed of striking it rich. Mining towns boomed overnight, filled with saloons, gambling halls, and a healthy dose of lawlessness. Life in the gold fields was harsh. Competition was fierce, and many left empty-handed. But the gold rush had a lasting impact on the West, accelerating its development and shaping its rugged character. Cowboys and Outlaws. The very mention of these words conjures up images of a rugged and untamed frontier. The vast open ranges of the West gave rise to the iconic cowboy. These men, and sometimes women, were the backbone of the cattle industry. These skilled horsemen spent their days herding cattle across dusty plains, driving them to market or to railheads for transport. Their work was essential in feeding a growing nation. Life as a cowboy was arduous and often dangerous. They faced long hours in the saddle, extreme weather conditions, and the constant threat of injury. They faced stampedes, harsh weather, and the ever-present threat of cattle rustlers. Despite these challenges, cowboys developed a strong sense of camaraderie and resilience. Where there were cowboys, there were outlaws. Legends like Jesse James, Billy the Kid, and Butch Cassidy captivated the public's imagination. These notorious figures became folk heroes, their stories told and retold in dime novels and newspapers. These desperados robbed banks and trains, living life on the run from the law. Their daring exploits and dramatic escapes added to the mystique of the Wild West. Their exploits cemented the image of the Wild West as a lawless and dangerous place, even as towns grew and law enforcement became more established. The legacy of cowboys and outlaws continues to shape our understanding of this fascinating period in American history. The end of an era. The Wild West, as we romanticize it, was a relatively short-lived period in American history. It spanned just a few decades, from the end of the Civil War to the turn of the 20th century. Yet its impact on American culture and identity is profound and lasting. By the late 19th century, the frontier had closed. The vast, uncharted territories that once beckoned pioneers and adventurers were now mapped and settled. The railroads connected the East Coast to the West Coast, facilitating trade and travel. This technological advancement marked the end of the isolation that had defined the frontier. The days of cowboys and cattle drives were numbered. As barbed wire fences crisscrossed the plains and ranching became more industrialized, the open range began to disappear. The Wild West may be gone, but its legacy endures. Museums and historic sites preserve the artifacts and stories of this iconic period. It continues to capture our imagination, reminding us of a time when adventure was around every corner and freedom could be found on the open range. The spirit of the Wild West lives on in our collective consciousness. The stories and legends of the Wild West, passed down through generations, continue to shape our perceptions of this bygone era. From dime novels to Hollywood films, the mythos of the Wild West remains a powerful force in American culture.